In October of 2011, Robert Duncan was working at a medical marijuana dispensary that was raided in Northern California. The federal government came in and raided them, and at that point, he decided that he was going to look for another job. A year later, he was indicted as a result of working at that marijuana dispensary. So he was overseeing the grow operation. He wasn't actually in a specific dispensary, but he was kind of managing the collective. Now, he didn't think that he was going to face federal charges for this, but of course the feds came after him a year later and they were extremely hard on him. In fact, after the trial, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison. The reason why I'm reporting this story today is because he had to turn himself in for his very first day in prison. Now, he says the following in a piece that he wrote for Huffington Post. "We hired lawyers from day one. We were entirely compliant with state law. It was shortly after the federal government said it would not intervene if people followed state law. We wanted to abide by the rules. None of us had criminal backgrounds. We're all regular guys. The only reason we got into this was because the federal government said they wouldn't intervene." But of course they did, and now he's going to spend 2 years of his life behind bars for something that's completely legal in 2 of our states.
And by the way, it was legal in his state because it's medical marijuana, right? So
this happened under Obama's watch, okay? Anyone who is behind bars right now in Colorado or Washington or any of the states that have legalized marijuana for medicinal use should be let go. Okay, get them out of the prison system, stop spending our resources and incarcerating them and ruining their lives. It's absolutely ridiculous. 2 years of his life behind bars for this.
They're gonna ruin the guy's life for no reason. It's so painful to think about. And it's one, you're in a state where it was perfectly legal to do what he was doing. And then number 2, you had the head of the federal government say, I am not going to come and waste federal government resources to track you down when it's legal in your state. But he did it anyway. Why? Because he had to prove to the Republicans what a tough guy he is. And now because Obama and the Democrats and the Republicans wanted to score political points, that guy is going to spend 2 years in prison. And everybody in the world knows they're not going to win this stupid war on drugs. And prohibition is on its way out. But these are going to be the last people to suffer under the old regime. It's totally senseless.
It's definitely senseless. And if you want to get a sense of what he's like, I mean, how this guy is not a threat to society whatsoever. He says that he's used some of the skills I learned growing marijuana to successfully clone old growth coastal redwood trees. Oh wow, that's a real criminal right there.
Sounds
I plan
dangerous.
to continue where I left off when I get out. I had been getting my graduate degree in environmental resource management when all this happened. I had to withdraw after my first class. Yeah, those are the kinds of people that are a threat to society. We should definitely keep him behind bars.
You know, we hear a guy who's smart and might contribute to the world. The Obama administration hears a guy saying, I have a special set of skills. They think that he's like Liam Neeson from Taken or something. Just calm down, dude. This is not a dangerous guy. Putting him in prison wastes our money and ruins his life for no reason. Like John Kerry said about Vietnam, how are you going to ask the last person to die for a mistake, right? And that was in the midst of a war, and I'm paraphrasing him obviously. But how many more people are we going to send to prison? How many more people's lives are we going to ruin on this obvious mistake?